Greetings and great things. It is Key Talks. I am back once again with another video, a slightly different look, but the same Black Swan energy. And topic is today's topic for this podcast episode is the universe outlines what no longer aligns, right? And I am in quite a upbeat mood today, so that's good. But I also think this topic is an interesting one, a fun one that we can all resonate with, even if you have just found this video and you don't know if you resonate with the Black Swan community that I'm building. I feel like this is something that we have all experienced in one way, shape, or form, particularly if you are spiritually aware, if you are, consciously aware and you reflect on yourself and your circumstances a lot. Having said that, my previous video is about why spiritually aware people struggle in society. So if that resonates with you or you're interested in that topic, do check out the previous podcast episode. So, right now, today, we are going to talk about this topic. And the first thing that I wrote down in my notes, which is what I'm looking at, is so you said you want change, right? And it's so cliche because as human beings, as much as we desire and we crave routine, consistency, familiarity, we also simultaneously crave new experiences. We crave exploration. We are curious by nature, right? Unless that is somehow programmed out of us, we are innately curious by nature, and this is evident in children. All you need to do is have a child to know how curious the human nature is. Because even a child that may want to protect itself or is used to a routine is not going to seek out routine or the same thing every single day. It is still going to be intrigued in discovering new things, right? On multiple levels. So that alone lets us know that it is within our nature to seek change, right? And we also know that change is the only constant. So when you say you want change, even if you don't want change, the change is going to probably occur and it's going to come. So it's good to be open to that, right? But particularly when you say you want change, when you say you want things to be different, you want your life to be better, you want your circumstances to shift, to change, you want yourself and how you feel to change, right? Then inevitably things will start to happen and occur that will lead you towards the change that you're seeking, cause change to occur in your life, and outline to you what no longer aligns, right? And all the signs are always there. The thing is, we sometimes don't want to acknowledge them, or we choose to avoid it and put our head in the sand. But as I said, and as I wrote here, all the signs are there, specifically when you say you want change. And what do some of these signs look like? Discomfort. Things that usually felt familiar and feeling normal, now they don't feel familiar, they feel abnormal, right? And that ties in with the discomfort because you start to become uncomfortable. Feelings of even depression, feeling low. This is all signaling to you that something needs to shift, something needs to change. Also, when you start having disruptions in certain relationships or in certain areas of your life, for example, at work or at home. Let's say if you know that you want to move and you want to live elsewhere, right? And you know fully with your whole being that where you are does not work for you. Now, in a week's time, especially if you've said or spoken this out loud or written it down in any way, when now later down the line, things start happening, like, for example, you fall out with your neighbors or somebody moves in next door to you that you cannot stand, right? Or things start breaking around your home, things start leaking around your home, issues start occurring in and around your home and your neighborhood. These will all be outlining to you what no longer aligns, which is the place that you stay at. Now you have two choices. You can sit there and wonder, why is this happening to me? This isn't fair. Oh my God, what's happening? Or you can say to yourself, I know why this is happening. This is happening because I don't want to live here anymore and I don't need to be here anymore. And then the next course of action would be to open your mind to the possibility of a new home being offered to you, or you actively going out and seeking that change and making that change happen, right? Because you're not going to stay there in circumstances that are bad and keep complaining and asking why this is happening, especially when you know that you don't even want to be there, right? You're going to get up and you're going to make the change. And if you now take that example and analogy and apply it to life in different areas of life, you will start to understand that when it's time for things to shift and change, what no longer aligns will be outlined to you. Whether or not you choose to observe that or take that in is a different story, but it is always outlined to you. And funnily enough, as human beings, because of the desire for simplicity, comfort that we have, when things start to become outlined to us in a way that makes us uncomfortable, we question it and we don't like to embrace it sometimes. We don't want that change because we feel like it's not happening on our terms or the way that we want it to. But we know that change is inevitable. And this is why I'm making this video, because it is a lot about your attitude, right? And I always want my Black Swans, my beautiful people in this community, to know how powerful your focus, your attention, your perspective is. And the way that you choose to look at something is the way that it is. And when you choose to look at it from a place of power, from a place of control, from a place of knowing, as opposed to from a place of doubting, worrying, confusion. When you choose the former, when you choose power, stability in yourself, when things are happening outside of you, but you tell yourself that you know why it's happening and you know what you need to do about it, then you're unstoppable. Right? It doesn't mean that you're not gonna feel certain things. It doesn't mean that you might not have certain emotional reactions, but it's the thoughts and the things that you tell yourself that matter the most at the end of the day. And when you know, you know. When you know, you know. And I don't even think I need to elaborate on that, you know? So the choice is yours for now, anyway. Because as I have said, ooh, I don't know what I wrote there. I need to start writing these notes better because I don't know what I wrote. My God. But the choice is yours for now and always. Ah, I would. this was quite cryptic what I wrote, but I said the choice is yours for now and always. Ultimately, you make your own bed. By will or by force is the way. And this kind of rounds this episode up. This is kind of a shorter episode, but this is one of my favorite quotes that I ever came across, right? And you can replace the beginning of it with God, the universe, life. But this is the quote that I want you to take in. Life or God or the universe will show you what you need to do, what changes need to occur. And these things will occur either by will, with your willing participation, or by force. That is the nature and the reality of this life, right? That is why I say the choice is yours for now and always, but it is yours for now because you can try to avoid certain things, but we know change is the only constant. It is inevitable. So when we know this, what sense does it make to fight against something that is destined to occur? That is futile, right? You're fighting a losing battle, as they say. So when you know that the choice is yours for now, I say that because you can choose, right? As I'm saying, to embrace change, to move forward with it, to take on the lessons that you need to take, to shift in the ways. Excuse me, I had to clear my storage, guys. But as I was saying, you can choose, right? These lessons, this shift, these changes that you know are, that you feel it in within you, because you do know. You can choose to embrace them, to allow them to occur, to move with them, right? Or you can choose to try to avoid it, to delay it, to postpone it. But that is when things will start to happen that feel like it's not your choice anymore, right? But it was always your choice because you could have chosen to go with the flow or you chose to go against it. But when things start to happen that make you feel like they're happening outside of your control, you must remember that it was still your choice to take that path. Because when you had the choice to move with the flow and to do things in a way that felt like they would be in your control, you chose not to do that. So that is what I'm here to really highlight to you. If you are in a circumstance now where you can see things being outlined to you that no longer align, do not fight it. Open your eyes and your mind to it, understand what is being shown to you, and then move accordingly, shift accordingly, right? Because you make your own bed and you will have to lay in it. That is this life, right? We are living, especially in the Western world, in a way where we have a lot of autonomy over ourselves. So the choices we make, while they can be influenced by external factors, and they are influenced by external factors, they still ultimately come down to our own conscious decision making. And this makes your choices and your conscious decision making very important. Maybe the most important thing, right? So, like I said, if you don't do things by will, they will be done by force because the change is inevitable and what no longer aligns has been outlined. The question is what you are going to do with that now, with that information. So, that is this topic. It's a little bit more cryptic and like, something to think about. But let me know how you guys felt about this episode. Let me know if you resonate with this. Let me know if you've ever been in a circumstance in your life where everything just did not align anymore. And tell me how you dealt with it. Did you fight it or did you move with it? You know? And yes, guys, as always, I am open to answering any questions. If you have any topic suggestions or anything that you want me to speak about, let me know. And in future, I will likely begin taking consultations at some point, but I need to figure out the framework for how I'm going to do this so that I can start talking to you guys one on one and really being there for you in the way that I want to be in this community. So thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next podcast episode. Cheers. Take care.